Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Monday, June 16th. And unlike Jose Canseco, we wish all the dads out there had an amazing Father's Day, including Caitlin Clark, who is now officially the WNBA's daddy. Also, the Colorado Rockies do exist to the chagrin of the Atlanta Braves. And a fan stormed the stage at Katy Perry's last show. Got us thinking, what stage would you want to rush?
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
Can't express how much I hate you guys making me get up at 4 a.m. for this episode, and I'm still on my Father's Day hangover. My first one. Time to move Father's Day to a Saturday. More to come on that.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into your weekly dosage of sin, Sports Idiot Nation. Follow us wherever you get your social media. New episodes come to you every Monday and Thursday. Hello. Happy Father's Day to a 1 miles behind enemy lines and Mr. T.I. I am everyone's daddy. I am father of all. I am Adam Marino.
You got kids out there. You just don't know where. You just haven't met them yet.
Fair. So let's talk about some famous fathers and who we think had pretty good Father's Days. I would say, some of the famous dads out there making the news. Tyrese Halliburton. I think he probably had a pretty good Father's Day. They screwed the pooch. We'll talk about that later. But overall, being not banned anymore, and then got clowned by his son for wearing those jeans. Did you see that? His son clowned him.
I mean,
hey, you out of pocket for those jeans, Dad.
Yeah, dad's gonna wear some silly looking pants. You gotta roast him. That's the way it works, This is
yes, sir.
This is 2025. Game changed.
Shut up, kid. I brought you into the world. I can take you out of it.
That's right. Make another one that looks just like you. Maybe not have the same basketball skills, but we'll hope that the skills come along.
Sorry, kid, banged your mom. That's how you're here.
What the hell?
So, who else had some good banging? What are some other good dads out there?
Banging. What good with some dads? It's a good banging.
Miles said it. I don't know.
LeBron James. LeBron James, maybe.
Wait a minute. I gotta call a 20-second TO right here for T.I. He and I are the only two here that have proven to have had sex before. Adam, we don't know. You could be a virgin.
Wait a second. Adam likes comic books and video games, and he's got some Funko Pops in the background. Totally virgin.
He had to proclamate his
I also like long walks on the beach.
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. Depends. I don't know. Is that legal in your state? I want to look into that.
Right. I'll text you. So yeah, Father's Day. It's a weird bag because, honestly, I'm speaking from just a male's perspective here, not as a dad. But we don't want much for Father's Day. How about this? How about you leave us alone?
That's all I want, man.
Man, can I just chill? Is that all right? No, you got to do the barbecue. Oh, cool. I got to work on Father's Day. That's what I feel happens.
Right. And take the kids anywhere else that day. We should want to be with kids. That's what makes us fathers. But no, just take the kids anywhere else so I can sit, have a drink, watch the game, whatever season it is. Well, it's always going to be June for now. Sundays, don't like that. We'll talk about it even more here in a bit. But I just want to watch the game, scratch, fart, call my boys, and maybe even podcast with the sinners.
That's right, man.
Go to Chili's with my boys. So
that's right, man. You gotta get there early, or because they don't take reservations, so you have to get there early.
Busy.
And Chili's gets busy. Chili's does get busy, especially on Father's Day with a bunch of single or divorced dads, or dads that just want to be alone. Dads that just want to be alone, like Miles said.
Here's something that we're talking about the movie Due Date. And what is Robert Downey Jr. becoming? A father.
And he's terrified.
what is Zach Galifianakis? What is he doing? What is he holding the whole time?
His father,
His father in an urn.
Why is he in the can? Because he's dead, Peter.
Right, like that answers the question. Why is he in Folgers? And why did we just drink him? He was really earthy. Remember? He was really earthy.
Very earthy.
Now, I will say, I did like that movie the first time when it was called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Sure.
As we know, that's what it was.
Yeah.
John Candy.
Rest in peace. Yeah, that was pretty stellar. Steve Martin is washing his face, and it's underwear. It's underwear.
It's also that I know of, aside from a new horror movie that came out recently, it's the only Thanksgiving movie that I'm aware of. So, that time of season, it's like you get Halloween movies and Christmas movies, but what are you watching Thanksgiving?
That's
Planes,
fair.
Trains, and Automobiles.
That's fair. Yep.
I like
it has one of my all-time favorite lines of a movie. He says, "I like me." It's like, come on, man. There's nothing more bold than that statement. It's tough. It's tough to like yourself,
And
you gotta
good fathers always should. Good fathers always should like me.
He says, "I like me," and I'm like, "I like you, and you made me like me." Thank you, Sean Candy.
That's full circle.
I
this
was
is Sports Idiot Nation.
I was in Pizza Inn in Bellevue when he passed away. I looked up and saw the breaking news, and told my mom, I said, "John Candy just died." She said, "No, he didn't." I said, "Yes, he did." And literally breaking news. I mean, long before the internet, we know that, right? So
right. No, I remember finding out too.
Yeah, he was a big deal, Uncle Buck, and his Home Alone cameo is classic. Like
it's all just him riffing. It's all he didn't write any of it. Yeah, dude, improv. That's so good.
Great Outdoors, classic. He's great, man. Love John Candy.
I know him for being a Kenosha kicker. That's the only movie he made after I was born.
He's
funny.
Like, yeah, he's we left the little guy at the funeral home all day. He started talking again a couple weeks later.
So that's so funny. That is so you don't even realize, because you see that as a kid and you're like, what? That's weird. This old guy
never caught it.
It's so good. Yeah.
Never caught it until I was an adult watching it with my son for Christmas, around Christmas.
You're like,
oh my
clever.
God, that is just so hilarious.
Yeah. So Miles mentioned something earlier regarding Father's Day. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to watch the game or keep up with what is going on. And yesterday was a day to keep up with what is going on, because we have major trades, new faces in new places. Let's start with T.I.'s team, because if we don't talk about T.I., here's the thing I've learned. Somebody? He gets antsy.
Did the Titans trade somebody? What's going on here? Did the Titans trade somebody?
In place of Memphis Jai.
I blacked out yesterday. I don't know what happened.
So let's get into this Memphis Grizzlies. What do you think, man?
So first off, I see the news pop across this morning, and it's on a site that I see share faulty information all the time. I'm like, who is some of my emotions on Father's Day?
I hate that, dude.
How many times have I brought up Desmond Bane on the show? I have said it time and time again. I love the dude. Love him. Love his T-Rex arms. Love his weird superhero action figure physique. He's got this action figure physique that doesn't work. But anyway, long story short, Grizz got 4 unprotected first rounders and then a pick swap.
And a swap, yeah.
And got KVP and Cody.
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. Cole not going to be here. Not going to be here probably much longer. They'll probably trade him or something. But it makes me wonder if they are trying to put together a package for KD. Because how do you ship your best 3-point shooter without bringing something back in return? And I don't think that they don't have the capital for the Giannis sweepstakes. Although it does make me wonder there, because Giannis is part owner of the Nashville soccer team, and it makes me wonder. He's in Tennessee a lot. I don't know, man. He already is in Milwaukee. He doesn't care if obviously he's in a big city. So it really makes me wonder if this is just them trying to make a move, and if it doesn't work out, hey, we've benefited our future, or this is just totally hey, we're going rebuilding mode. But my thing is, you can't rebuild if you're not moving Ja for capital. So there has to be something going on to me. I could be completely wrong, but you don't make a move like that without there's some ulterior motive. You're not just like stockpiling picks and just sit on them and hope that you draft the right players. They do draft well, but it doesn't mean you're going to hit on 5 picks. So I don't know. What do you think, Miles? He's now in your childhood.
He's now in the how I learned about this yesterday, this trade? My pastor at church during his sermon was talking. He's a sports guy, but he always ties it in, and it worked well with his sermon. He stayed holy. But he's like, you just got to quiet your brain sometimes. Don't pull out your phone and try to pick up the details of the Desmond Bane trade. So in any case, no player is worth 4 picks in the modern day.
No,
I think we can go back to Minnesota, Dallas. Now,
Miles Bridges with the Knicks. That was bad.
Oh, his name was Miles. He had that going for him. Name is Miles,
and he spells it correctly. But this is kind of the point: Miles Bridges and Desmond Bane alike. I like Desmond Bane even more than Miles Bridges, and I do really like Miles Bridges. Are the Memphis Grizzlies going to win a championship with Desmond Bane? The roster as is. Correct. And Adam, of course, the answer is no. So they have to make a change. Obviously, KCP, he won't be there. Cole Anthony, probably not, but he would be a good fit for someone right off the bench as their 6th or 7th man. Yes, we are of the same mindset, TI. This is something bigger in the works. And if for some reason that fell through, so be it. You got 4 unprotected. And look, the Magic, they're decent enough. That could possibly not be even a lottery pick, but come on, 4 first rounders over, and I don't know the exact years that these are going to be, but come on, you got to land 2 of these 4 to make up for Desmond. They absolutely should. Go ahead.
And they are, and I was going to say, and one of those picks is his son's pick too. So it's like
fair.
I mean, when with that rolls around,
how the West is now. Shoot, and the Suns could 10 pick off. Right, and that actually could come full circle if KD is going to be on the move. And I want to bring that up with KD, as you mentioned, is probably the move. People are like, well, KD's washed up, did nothing. Well, he seems like he did nothing because he played for the Suns. He was still 6th in the league in scoring before he got hurt, sure. But he still played the majority of the season, and the dude still balls out. So for Memphis to have him, and we go on and it gets personal and whatnot. I don't know any of these guys. You don't know any of these guys. Our listeners don't know these guys personally. But can he do something to get into Ja's head to say, you're an idiot? You should be watching Sports Idiot Nation because of the sinner mentality you have. No, and I agree. But Adam, that's kind of my point. He's not the guy that we think. But is this different from everyone else has the egos that they do with the guys that he played with that are similar in age? This is a different age group. It could be something that we truly don't know about. We assume so. The easy answer is no. But is that the mindset of someone in the front office of Memphis is, well, KD could be the guy to change him? Obviously, we want to say no. But we don't know that for sure until that happens. And then it's a domino effect from there. We get that. But it's probably the move that the 4G chess, as we like to always say these days, something bigger is at hand. The minutia of it, we're going to see in the months to come.
For sure. And another question I have too is like, if we're just looking at Bane, sure, Bane produces. I mean, he's producing every stat category, but that's kind of, he has to on that team. He has to. So in the grand scheme of things, what they need from his position is a 15-5 guy, really, is what they need. And it's like, they might have Luke Kennard there already. And it's like, you bring somebody in, Ja picks up some scoring, maybe you change the pace a little bit. I don't know what it is, like, but you're not going to have anybody pulling up from half court and draining threes, to tell you that, like Bane does, because they don't have anybody on the team that can do that. So I don't know. I'm not against it by any means, but it was a very, very unfair contract for Memphis, so they did unload on that, which is good. So it's not what I wanted to wake up and read on Father's Day, but I've had 24 hours to digest.
What Orlando's going to do now. Well, let's look at what Orlando's going to do now. I mean, talk about going for it now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an East right now that's very vulnerable. Love Halliburton. But if the Pacers are good enough to make the finals, given we know all the injuries, I'm not surprised Orlando's going to make this move to get a sharpshooter like Desmond Bane, who fills up the stat sheet. He's not a one-dimensional, not a one-trick pony at all. Orlando is going to push for it. Maybe my pick to click was a year off, but next 2 seasons, if Orlando is going to make a push for the finals, it's go time.
Yeah.
So we talked about what Orlando is going to do. I need to shift to what I'm going to do. I am befuddled because another trade is my San Francisco Giants, and we made fun of Devers for not being a team player, and already it didn't work out, and now, oh God, I have to deal with him now. It's on me. Now, does he pack some punch? Man, I'll tell you what he packs. A $254.5 million hit is what's owed still.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that correctly. What was that number again?
Yeah, I'm not saying it again
because
it made me almost like Mufasa.
Kind of like an echo. There was like an echo with a lot of extra zeros attached to it.
Yeah. So here's what the trade was for Jordan Hicks, who's a right-hander, and Kyle Harrison, who's a left-hander, and then a pair of prospects that I'll say the names and they will fade softly into the night. James Tibbs and Jose Bello. Cool.
He's a Jose. Jose. Just if I'm going on name alone, Jose Bello has a better chance of being a professional baseball player than the other guy.
Bello.
I already forgot his name. Jose Bello. Yeah, I already forgot the other guy's name. Jose Bello sticks.
So, and here's what's kind of fun. The Red Sox come to San Francisco next weekend. So that'll be kind of cool. But I am definitely a little bit nervous. I don't like the idea of a guy with a story of didn't really work well with the team, wasn't a team guy, and then you ship him to my favorite team. That's not the move.
Sometimes you just need to change the scenery, man. A wise prophet and
Richard Sherman,
musician and sailor, once said, "Changes of latitudes, changes of attitudes." Rest in peace.
Okay.
Rest in peace, James Buffett.
So, speaking of rest in peace, he's not gone too soon. I'm going to start a PSA. Where's the camera? I'm starting a PSA. When someone is over the age of 80, we're not doing a gone too soon, Brian Wilson. I love your music, but you're not gone too soon. You're just, God only knows. You're not gone too soon. I'm just throwing it out there to the universe.
How dare you?
I know I'm gonna catch flack, but dude, if you're 80 and you die over anything, God bless you. That's it. There's no, he was just a young chap.
Life was just beginning.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait a minute. He lived for 4 but nowadays you have to be 80 to run for president. If you're in mid-70s, you're just a spring chicken.
Kings here. Hey, no kings.
He just graduated into Social Security 15 years ago.
Say that 20 years from now.
I feel you on that, but I will say one thing. The very first concert I ever saw was the Beach Boys after the Cardinals-Braves game on July 4th, and I take offense to you ridiculing one Brian Wilson. You're just jealous because you guys used to have a pitcher. I don't know. Maybe you still do. Didn't you have a pitcher named Brian Wilson who has the beard?
Absolutely. Fear the beard.
Fear the beard. That's right. So I think you're just jealous because the Brian Wilson who passed away was more popular than the Brian Wilson that you celebrate. So that's what I think is going on.
I think you're just accurate. So, all right. So
that's right.
So
I just played an idiot on TV.
We were talking about no kings, and I want to point out that, again, the NBA Finals has no king, has no joker, has no star power, and we were seeing the drop. But let's get into these finals real quick, and I want to know your guys' thoughts in that final 90 seconds where SGA scored 97 points on free throws, and it was bad.
He's just. I hate to say this because people are going to be like, "Oh, you're just a hater," and I'm not. there's very few basketball players that I have hated, if hated really. Like there's players that I root against, there's players I'm not a fan of, but I still appreciate what they bring to the game, no matter what their skill set is. With that being said, SGA is just very boring to watch to me. He's very boring. He's by the book. It's like, hey, I do what I'm supposed to do. It's like watching women's basketball. It's very fundamental, and it's not non-flashy, and maybe that's what the game needs to be. I don't know, but as a fan of hoops, it's a little lackluster for me. I do like the series. It's been good basketball. It's just as far as him as a player. It's like when Giannis stepped on the scene, I was like, oh man, this dude is, I like this dude. Like watching this dude, like I'll tune into a Bucks game. I've never said that before. Why not? And then I'm not like going to rush to tune into OKC game. So I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. A great player. I like his story. He the Clippers gave up on him, and here he is. No, or Kings gave up on him. Which is the other story? Halliburton was the Kings, right? And
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So both those stories are great. Both those guys gave up on their players. Now look at them in the finals. So, but just boring to me. Boring.
Tim Duncan?
Obviously,
is it like Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan was boring, but I still enjoyed watching Tim Duncan more. Man,
long way to go to be in Tim Duncan conversation. But let's not forget
being boring, the big fundamental. I'm just asking.
But he's got to be boring. I know what you're bringing up. He's got to be boring for 3 decades. Tim Duncan was boring for
a lot of
right. That's what I was like. I'm not saying be in the conversation because he hasn't won a title compared to 5. I'm saying longevity of boring. But Indiana, I mean, can you hate the guy anymore? You're playing him in the finals. He went to Kentucky, so in the college level, and then from a baby-born level, he's Canadian. The split head is Canadian. I'm waiting for South Park to make fun of his ass.
Give him the talking. Yeah.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Can I finish?
That game though, in the final 90 seconds, the only thing I'll say for the Pacers is you can't go Nick Anderson and miss all those free throws. You can't miss the 3 in the corner and the Miles Turner one straight on. Why is Obi Toppin not in? Like, I just start to the Charlie where he's got his mind is like this and he's pulling off. I'm doing that with Rick Carlisle, and I shouldn't, because, dude, Jim Carrey has won big before, and he did it against Miami. I mean, he was a big deal. He knows how to coach, but I'm just thinking, like, dude, why is Miles Turner? The 3 of us average 3 rebounds a game less than Miles Turner, which, by the way, is 0. We average 0. You can't be 7. What are you doing out there? Get Obi Toppin in. Every time he's in, he makes things happen. I know he's not going to get every rebound, but if Miles Turner isn't rebounding, then it doesn't matter. The only thing I'll say to that is it's a testament to OKC, because Hartenstein and Chet and they're doing a good job rebounding, which forces Miles Turner to be out there.
I like Chet. I will say I do like Chet's game. He's like a Timu Wemby. In a way, right? Like, he can do it all, and he's got that weird body length, and he's going to be a problem once he puts on some muscle mass, and starts draining those threes like Dirk, because he plays a lot like Dirk, and he's a lot taller, obviously. But I'd like him. I will say I like him. But yeah, all in all, it's just OKC is just a little kind of boring. But I think the problem for Carlisle is he just needs to put the ball into his exciting White's hand. And let him work, let him cook, baby, let him cook. Because, I mean, we know what JJ Barea did to LeBron James and company.
Whoa. JJ Barea is not white.
Well, but he dude's an immigrant. He still kind of fits the bill, right?
No kings.
We can adopt him. We can adopt him. Like the Dave Chappelle draft, like we mentioned a couple episodes back. But
we can select JJ Barea.
Yeah. That was a good finals, though, back in the day. That Mavs Heat finals was fun to watch.
Jason Terry going down the runway.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh,
so,
my God.
All right, I want to go into women, because we have now crossed the back.
Miles and I were wondering if you've ever done that. Miles and I were wondering if you've ever done that. So you did say you were wanting to go in. We can let you know what it feels like if you off camera, of course. Off camera.
Warm apple pie.
Yeah. American Pie 12, starring Adam Marino.
With Jason Biggs. He needs work.
Back in action.
He needs work.
back in action. We'll
Adam,
start
Pythagorean theorem. He needs the math to figure out how to go in there.
We are back in the times where we cannot afford to go to an Indiana Fever game. We were able to afford it.
So
there was $3 tickets for almost a month.
You can still go to a Sky game for $8. So
yeah, all those bricks. Caitlin Clark, Miles, do you have the math on what was that in the fourth quarter? She had how many points and how many seconds, and they defeated, was it New York for their first loss?
The fourth quarter? No, man, rewind it. That's coming out of the gate, man. In the first half, she dropped 25.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The first 14 seconds, she bang, bang, bang. Mm-hmm. Right
Ricky
in a row.
Martin,
it's like she's coming off. She bangs. Oh, baby, she strokes. She strokes.
She bangs.
I go
William Hung. She bangs.
I met that dude.
For the
T.I., I met that dude.
Really? Oh, we got to do an episode on that. All right. Mental note.
No, we don't.
We're doing a whole episode on William Hung.
We really don't. Miles, go ahead.
He's in one of my favorite shows, too. So we got a lot to talk about.
Someone else who's clearly well hung because she is the daddy of the WNBA.
That's right.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark, right out of the gate. I mean, she was Steph Curry in it. I watched the highlight. I didn't watch it live. I was living my life like a normal human being. And my father, of all people, is like, bro, turn this on. And of course, he lives among women like myself. And I watched it back and I was like, damn, I gotta start watching the WNBA. She is that good. I just throwing it up, and like she hadn't played in like a month. I can't even like if I didn't tie my shoes for a month, I couldn't do it that well. She is good. I got to give it up. God damn it! Why'd she go to Iowa? Like I guess she's from Iowa, but why you got to be so boring to go to school in Iowa? Like this is pissing me off even more now. And I watch women's college basketball. My Hoosiers decent, whatever. And now I'm like, Caitlin Clark, fudge crackers. She's good.
She's throwing up shots out there like she was challenging the whole opposing team on a game of horse. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I thought she was going to start throwing hook shots from half court just to see if they went in. Because, dude, she came down. She came down, hit that half court shot, came down. She was chasing her teammate behind her, going fall, like literally right behind her.
When you hit two in a row from there, yeah.
She's like, my fingers are on fire. Give me the ball.
Yes,
and she
we call this a heat check.
Yeah, and then she grabbed Brianna Stewart and was like, "Do you believe this?" Like she grabbed the opposing team. It's like, I'm annihilating you. It was pretty awesome, I have to say. It was pretty incredible.
So, speaking of doing this and saying it's pretty awesome.
But hold on. She had 9 assists and 8 boards, or 8 boards and 9 assists, too. So, she's not not just out there just chucking threes. She is Desmond Baning it up, you know?
Okay, that's enough.
She's filling every stat category. So, she is the Desmond Bane of the WNBA.
Hey, I was Bane for Halloween. So... Here's where we're shifting because you were shaking and you're saying entertaining. We got to talk through the big three because Lance Stevenson and Dwight Howard was a sight to be seen. That their little pretend fight. Did you see this, T.I.?
I'm not familiar enough to speak on it, but I am familiar enough with both Lance Stevenson and Dwight Howard, and they are both numbskulls and full of antics.
So the big three just got rolling again. So it was on this weekend. And so the big three, here's one thing that I'll bring up that I think is really cool. So and it's all guys that you know, but here's what's cool about the big three this year that Ice Cube said on a podcast that they're introducing that I am all in on, and I want to see what you guys think. So if there's a coach's challenge over a jump ball, let's say, or a travel or whatnot, or a foul call, the two opposing players involved in the call play one-on-one, and whoever wins, that goes with the call.
To what for? 5? To what? What?
I think it's 30. No.
I mean,
that'd be hilarious. It was like a whole side game.
I mean, if I'm tuning in to watch 3-on-3, I don't want a subset
one-on-one,
a subset of 10-minute one-on-ones going on all night, right?
No. Like I think it's one.
They got 2 1-on-1s at each time going on in both court. I'm like, hey,
I believe it's one possession.
Can we just stick over here in this court?
Can we just do 3-on-3? Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, that's a cool idea. Is it?
Yeah,
it's
entertainment, man.
Is it an XFL like quirky idea where it's like
Vince McMahon? This is the Big 3.
Yeah. But dude, there's people in the stands. People go.
I would go.
Ice Cube has it going.
Yeah, dude, I would go. I like Ice Cube. Everything he puts his name on, he puts 100% in. So that's one
including
thing.
Are We There Yet?
Yeah,
Which is terrible.
And the long rumored Friday 4 that keeps getting shot down that is supposed to happen. It's supposed to be called the final Friday, I think, or last Friday or something like that. So I'm hoping it finally sees the light of day.
Yeah,
all the Friday movies are funny, man. Even the Christmas one's funny, man. So
I'm in for Big 3, the shenanigans and all that.
They came to Nashville last year, but I didn't see them. I wanted to.
You didn't go?
No, I wanted to, but I would like to go. I had no idea Dwight Howard was in there though. I knew Lance was in there, and I knew like a bunch of other folks, but I didn't know Dwight
and Michael
Howard.
Beasley.
I knew
they just played each other and got in a fight, and they're on the same team. They are on Miami's team. So Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson are on the same team now. So
it is cool though.
Kind of crazy.
It is cool to see the 3-on-3 rise in popularity because when I was a kid, the Hoop It Up tournament traveled around and it was a lot of fun, man. We'd get it every year.
Gus Macker
with friends and have a little team and compete and stuff. Man, it's a lot of fun. So shout out to 3-on-3 hoops.
Yep. Shout out to Sports Idiot Nation. Remember to follow us wherever you get your social media. New episodes come every Monday and Thursday. Click the printiful link also to get some gear. Miles is an idiot, so he can't. All right, let's talk hockey. Miles, I know you're not staying up. Like, bro, half the games are in overtime, and it's the East Coast, and I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Just score a goal, please. Like, what is happening?
Man, fuck your East Coast. That's why I moved central. Dead central. Man, it's funny because people are going back and forth online. What finals are better? We are spoiled. Both the NBA and the NHL finals have been fun as hell. Mm-hmm. But what we have learned is Connor McDavid, you are not the best Canadian hockey player there is because we got Brad Marchand. This dude has dropped 6 goals in this series. Connor McDavid, meanwhile, has only scored 7 during the entire playoffs, and most of those goals were garbage goals anyways, pretty much meaningless. That third goal on, what was that, Saturday night was Game 5 in Edmonton. That was one of the sickest moves I've ever seen in the NHL finals. I mean, if that doesn't make you hard, you've got ED. There's no question about it. My God, he went over him and back and then poked it in. And game was over there. And, well, I want to say the series is over, but we've seen these two teams go at it for the last 2 years now. The series ain't ever over between these two. Last year, Florida up 3-0, went to a Game 7 before they finally survived. Wild. And this year, it's like, man, Florida's got it in the bag. Man, they're just in cruise control. Oh, they let Edmonton back into it because they're getting bored. They should just play the Canadian national team. Minus Brad, because you got to stay with Florida because he's, adopted American now. But shit, when Edmonton got that win and now you think they have control of the series, Florida, nah, we got it. We going up to boring ass Edmonton. They're going to meet at the tree up there, as we saw in South Park, and they're going to take the series back. Now I want to say they're going to close it in 6. Who knows? Brad might put up a hat trick. Put up 9 goals this series, and we might go to a 7th game back in Alberta. This series has been wild. If you are not into hockey, I get no one that watches this podcast is probably into either team or a diehard fan of either teams. It doesn't matter. If you like sports whatsoever, start watching puck.
Yep. Shout out to Puck Idiot Nation and TI. Let's walk through some of the idiots.
Well, one thing
else do we have?
Well, we have a lot of idiots. There's 3 of us right now on your screen.
Well,
but we have idiots all across the globe. I do want to say one thing about the final, Stanley Cup final. I myself as the regular current admin. We're all admins, but I've been pushing Puck Idiot Nation really hard. I'm hoping for 7 games, a lot, because the traction that we have got from the hockey community and the groups, and especially the Florida Panthers fans support and Edmonton Oilers, like the hockey fan, hockey is not something I've dabbled in completely. Being a Preds fan, you don't really get to dive into the rest of
Sharks fan.
What is out there. And hockey community are fun folks, and I like them a lot. And they have a good sense of humor because the sport is really blue collar to me, and I like it, and I think people gravitate to that. So shout out to the hockey community.
You like it, you love it, you want some more of it.
More of it. Bang, bangers.
And a lot of exciting whites.
Yeah.
So,
dude, when I went to the national soccer game, I was a little disappointed. They broke that out. The like it, you love it. I was like, can we do our own thing? I thought it was kind of lame. Anyway, but it's all the idiot verses. We've got the Sinners. We've got the Gridsters. I don't know what we're calling Gridiron yet. Maybe they're the Gridsters. They might be the Gridsters. We've got the winners over at Wrestling Idiot Nation. We've got the Speed Idiots at Racing Idiot Nation. We've got the Turtle. We got the Shellheads over at Turtles Idiot Nation.
Yeah.
We have the Gamers. I guess they're going to be Gamers. Not sure, but going to be Gamers right now. We'll figure that out. At the Gamer Idiot Nation, because Genders is just kind of. We're not a bunch of alcoholics. We're video game aficionados. So, and then, God, what are we missing here? We're missing, Titans Idiot Nation. That's a good one. That's got some guy running it. I wouldn't trust him around your kids.
Never heard of her.
It's pretty funny. And I feel like we're missing others, but we're launching them left and right. We got some more in the works, and
Hoops. I don't think you said hoops. To be honest,
there it is. Hoops. There it is. Tag team back again. Check it.
Oops, there it is.
Oops, there it is. Anyway.
Yeah.
That should be a reel. That will probably get a lot of clicks on YouTube. But yeah, there's a lot of just if you type idiot on Facebook, you'll see a lot of them pop up, and the logo looks the same. And there's just different colors and different colors and different shapes and sizes. There's something for every idiot out there. So tune in, subscribe,
brand
follow,
awareness,
share, click, buy. Support our habits.
Do all the things. So we're talking about fathers, and I gotta say, Bill Pullman probably has to be a pretty proud father because not only is he in Spaceballs, but his son will be with him.
Spaceballs,
just repping the Schwartz.
He pulled the LeBron James. What's the
over under?
Pulled the LeBron James.
Yeah.
Brought his son back with him for the cast.
What is the over under? The over under of Mel Brooks's what are the bets on if he'll be alive?
On him surviving? Yeah, before this film's done. That's what I was just talking about yesterday with one of my son's friends of the soccer team's dad. We were both talking about the movie. I was like, "Do you think Mel Brooks will be alive?"
Here's the Vegas one right here. The line between what's favored: years left to live for Mel Brooks or layups made by Angel Reese this season.
Oh, definitely years left for Mel Brooks to live, I would say.
I see what you did there.
But we are excited for this movie, though. We are definitely excited.
Have you seen his character's name? What his character's name is? His character's name will be Starburst. Which is very funny because he's the son of Lone Star and Princess Vespa. But Starburst is obviously funny in itself. But also, how do you produce children? And it's Mel Brooks, so it's not named after the candy. I promise you that. It's named after Lone Star's Burst.
Please tell me they got that brand behind them.
They will have something about. There will be something. I mean, it's classic. But yeah, that was big news for me. It's a big movie I went to see. I saw the movie in theaters as a kid. I will never forget seeing it. It's like Ninja Turtles. It's just one of those movies you see as a kid that like you become entrenched. Like Indiana Jones or something like that. It just sticks with you forever. And so I am super excited about that film. I have a theory on how it came about. Could be wrong, but right now Disney is just like forking out cash. And we all know that Rick Moranis, quit Hollywood to raise his kids. And
what a father.
What a father. And like when you shrink your kids, you have no choice but to raise them because life becomes harder when you're much, much smaller. But no, all jokes aside, I think I think he was the catalyst of why there wasn't a Spaceballs 2. I think Mel Brooks was like, we're not doing the movie without Rick Moranis. I think Disney came to Rick Moranis like, we really need to reboot Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. What's it going to take? And he finally made an agreement, and he probably called up Mel Brooks, or Mel Brooks got word of it and was like, hey, you told me that if you ever came back to acting, we would do Spaceballs 2. So he has to be the catalyst, because why is it 38 years later if he is not the catalyst? I mean, every other person involved has been doing movies. So, so excited. So excited. I hope Mel Gibson. Jeez. I hope Mel Brooks lives to.
I hope he's not in it.
Finish. Well, he has to be, right? He has to be. Not Mel Gibson. Yes, not Mel Gibson.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
I
is.
hope Mel Gibson is not
an idiot.
Yeah, he is. He's the. If you don't know, Mel Gibson is also the king of Malibu. You can look that up, and you'll probably get a blast from the past of something you may have forgot. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. You should look it up. Where he's got the open bottle of tequila, like drinking in the back of the cop car. He's like, I own the city. I'm the king of Tampa, or king of whatever. Anyway, moving on. But yeah.
So, John Candy. We talked about John Candy, all the movies he was in.
Yeah, they got to figure that out.
And, yeah.
Joan Rivers, they could voice over, but there'll probably be a new robot, because there always is, right? Then there'll be some kind of new droid kind of thing. Yeah. And they could do some kind of voiceover, like hologram thing with Joan Rivers, because they can easily AI her voice or use old voice samples. But John Candy,
why not John Candy too? With
AI,
come on.
You're right, they could, but maybe there's like with Starburst's son, or Starburst with
his son,
yeah, or maybe like Lone Star's son has been hanging out with, Barf's son. And that's how they
Worf, and it's Worf or something like just
maybe like Lone Star shows up and it's like at their apartment or something. It's like, look, it's like I need to repair our relationship. We got some stuff we got to figure out. And maybe his Barf's son comes out and it's like, what are you hanging out with this guy? There's got to be.
Here's a question. Here's a question I have. Do you think it ends with just 2, or do they do the Star Wars thing and go for like 19 more, or do they try to kill Helmet Head or Blackhead or whatever his name is at the end of
Lord Dark Helmet. Lord Dark Helmet. Blackhead. He's not a pimple, Miles. He's not a pimple.
What an idiot. Yeah, what an idiot.
But the thing is, so we do have the reference of like I see your Schwartz is as big as my college roommate's second cousin, like that person has to be someone in this film, right? Like whoever Rick Moranis referenced at that moment has to be in this film. So I wonder if they go back and like really think about all the little things they planted. Like they planted the sequel in the first movie. It was like Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, So
exactly.
Hopefully they have that, And like in the end with he's sitting there, it's like we polled Mel Brooks, like we polled everybody and asked them what film do they want us to make. So we made this one instead. He's wearing Spaceballs, the sweatshirt right there, So like, remember in the movie, they have like all the merchandise and marketing, like just genius, way ahead of his time. I am super excited for that. Maybe we can do like a fly Miles in and Adam, you can drive down. We can do like I'll go see it and do like some kind of like special episode about it.
We'll have to dress up too.
We've got 2 years to plan it. So
yeah.
Miles
can
be Lord Pimpleface or Blackhead or whoever you thought Rick Moranis' character was.
Don't do the blackface.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. Speaking of don't do that, I called it that.
You sound like my wife,
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's fair. I could definitely see that. It's time to talk Aaron Rodgers and the AFC North because it's just very intriguing and what's going on in the AFC North. You have let me break it down. You have in Baltimore, you have their running back is going to be in an Adam Sandler movie if he rushes for 2,000 yards. That was Dan Patrick facilitated that, and that is official. That Adam Sandler told, he literally sent a video message to the Ravens and said that if he rushes for 2,000 yards, he is in a Adam Sandler movie, whatever that looks like. So for Baltimore.
Baltimore's
are they going to run the ball?
Lamar Jackson.
Are they going to run? Not, yeah, Lamar Jackson. Exactly. Yeah. No. So are they going to, with Henry, are they going to run the ball a lot? That's a storyline. Then you got the Cleveland Browns and their 19 quarterbacks, and their average age is 27. And what bumps that age to 27 is Joe Flacco at 52. The average age would be 19. But so that's intriguing. And then Pittsburgh not running an offense for the last 4 years. And now they get a guy who does understand offense, but will his body perform? Man, and then the Bengals, Miles was telling me earlier, take it, Miles.
Yeah, so Trey Hendrickson is no longer, well, he's still kind of hindered, but he's actually back in talks for the contract. And I know we've kind of thrown back and forth about what holdout is going to have the biggest consequence. And I was like, there's plenty of them, but the one that I thought may not get done here in the last 24 hours might actually get done. And the Bengals, obviously, their kryptonites, their defense and their anchor is a mile away from possibly getting it done. And then, you look at your notifications like, oh yeah, the Bengals and Hendrickson are finally in talks, but they understood what was up. And I'm sure, I haven't seen the details yet because can't release that until this is finalized. But I bet they bent the knee because their only hope to be back in contention, and not just necessarily, to make the playoffs, make a Super Bowl run, but actually to be relevant when you have Aaron Rodgers coming to the division.
It's true.
You might want to get that motherfucker on the field. So
it's us.
We'll
Led the
see
league
what
in
ends
sacks last 3 years.
But Trey Hendrickson might be like, I'm coming after you, but thank you so much for coming to the division because you gave me some leverage to get this done. And I'd be shocked if he doesn't get a price tag that he loves.
Right.
Well,
yeah, it's going to be big.
It's important for the Bengals to take every dollar they have, every dollar they have, and spend it on defense. Very important for them to do that. I don't care. I hope they never do that. But for their fan base, it's very important. But Adam, I did want to touch on one thing. You mentioned about the average age of the Browns QB depth chart with Flacco. But let's just take the whole entire division as a whole with Aaron Rodgers and Flacco. Man, they have shot up at average age. So
senior citizens division.
So are we going to have two senior citizens manning as starting quarterbacks there? Come on, man. Flacco has to open up as the starting quarterback. Right?
He will, but he won't finish. There's no way.
I agree.
I don't think Flacco plays the full. What's the over under? We'll set this later when we get in heavy into NFL talk.
If this was 10 years ago,
8 or 9 games.
Yeah,
we'll set that.
10 years ago, I would love that Aaron Rodgers Joe Flacco matchup. That would have been great,
Which, by the way, here's a teaser. We're gonna start teasing season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation. Will start in August. It's our year anniversary. August 1st is when we had episode 1. So
we got renewed.
As we're in June, we did get renewed.
You guys
All 3
didn't
of
tell
us
me
signed
that.
on.
Oh man!
Yes,
I thought
I'm
sure
breaking
we were
it right now.
I thought for sure we were canceled.
Monday, June 16th. I am breaking the news that season 2 is starting August. Stick around because we have a lot of big news to tell you about. Other people have signed on as well. Big news coming for season 2. Remember to follow us on all social media. I want to get you guys out of here on this because I saw this reel and it made me think of different concerts because someone in today's world, it's weird that security is not there fast enough. Like this fan at this Katy Perry show was on stage for awkwardly too long. And so it got me thinking, I wanted to ask you, T.I., I want to start with you. If you had a chance to rush on a stage and be on it for a good 10 seconds and get some real airtime, what concert would you pick?
Oh, it has to be a concert? Damn. I was gonna go for WrestleMania.
Well,
but so concert, if I'm just going to have fun, then I gotta pick something crazy, man. I'm gonna go Halloween, Guar in Mexico City, because they're not gonna ask me to get off stage. They're just more than likely they're probably just gonna invite more people on stage, And it would just be a blast, right? Because Guar is just like crazy, and under those crazy outfits and masks, like they're pretty just cool, normal dudes that just like to do silly, ridiculous stuff. I'm sure Kiss was like a huge inspiration for him, like. So that would be crazy for me, but like that would be fun. But like Wu-Tang or something, like one of my favorites would be great. But if I'm going for just
forever,
I'm going for just craziness and have a good time. Yeah, I'm gonna say Guar, Mexico City, Halloween night. Oh, it'd be wild, wild.
All right, Miles, who you got?
Well, ever since going to a non-dom church, I've really seen firsthand how worship is just nothing short of a free concert. So getting up there, with my tuxedo shirt, with Jesus that says, I'm formal, but I'm here to party. That's always a good time. I mean, like maybe strip my clothes off at a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert would be fun as well.
Put a sock on it. Put a sock on it.
But
I kind of fit in too much. Yeah, right. I'm here. I'm trying to be a band. I mean, they're turnover band members all the time, so why not? Give me a shot.
You guys see that guy over there? He's got clothes on.
What a loser. What an idiot.
Yeah, this guy's shoes. So here's where my brain went. Everyone has two types of vibes. There's the rock vibe where you're bobbing, and there's the hip hop vibe that you're kind of vibing. And one of my favorite bands
did the same motion though when you were vibing. You were like rock vibing.
Fair.
Rock's like
fair.
Rock's like and then hip hop's more like, yeah. There you go. Try it again, Adam. There you go. I like that. Right. That's much better.
Thank you. What I will say is there's a band that gives me a little bit of both energy, and I would have a chance to maybe see them in Nashville, and I would get up on stage with 311.
I knew that was coming.
Man.
So
it's either that or Soundgarden.
Just saying.
I know a guy.
Just saying.
I know a guy who has 5 tickets to 311 right now.
Well, we're just saying I would have a blast with Nick Hexum. I just think it'd be fun.
It's like that Obi-Wan Kenobi meme. Like, it's me. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have.
I'm him.
I do currently have 5 tickets to 311. I am going to give one of those to you and tell you to come down. Miles, of course, you're welcome to come down, but I know it's a little more of a trek for you.
I would have to come up.
Well,
and he's not even a 311 fan. Only 311 fans allowed. Come on.
Yeah, a friend of mine bought.
It's not his bag.
Friend of mine.
It's not my bag, baby.
Shout out to my man Shane. He bought some tickets.
Sausage.
But anyway, he bought some tickets, and his dad is having surgery that day, so he had to do the right thing and pass them on to an idiot. And he told me to make sure that I divvy them up to people that will have fun. So,
well, last thing. Miles, do you know anything about JJ Spawn?
JJ Spawn, I believe he got a winnery yesterday. So
winner.
Rockies, Scotty Scheffler wins. Looks like the Rockies took it this week with the dub. Scotty Scheffler 0, JJ Spawn, and I was cheering so hard for this to be the first majors in 7 years. 2018, Brooks Koepka was the last time a major was won by someone who was over par. Slipped under the wire right there. JJ Spawn 1 under par, the only one in the entire tournament to finish under par. Everyone else +1 or more. Congratulations, JJ Spawn. You're not the idiot of the week. You're just the winner of the U.S. Open. You got a lot of freaking money now. Good on you.
Wait, and
Mayday! Cover your brains, boys and girls. Put on your tinfoil hats, because this is Idiot of the Week.
All right, you idiots and sinners. The Idiot of the Week, it's coming back home to our own Tennessee Titans. The social media, you disgrace. You said Happy Father's Day to the moms out there? The moms? Look,
what?
You have your own damn day for these women that decide to be inseminated by human debris. No, not having it at all. This is for us men that are there for our kids. It's pretty simple. I have a wang. I have 2 gonads. Father's Day was ours. And for the rest of you, society, you're idiots in the first place for putting us on a Sunday I get whatever this tradition bullcrap. Well, it makes sense. Yeah, and the weekend with a father. No, I need more time at night so I don't have to get up early ass in the morning to film these podcasts for you. I do it for you. I do it all in love for all our idiots and sinners. But I got to go to work too. I got to have a real job until y'all pay me enough to be here full time. Father's Day are for the men. Saturdays are for the boys. Let's tie it all together. And moms, your days in May, it stays that way. And don't try to come and be a single mom bullcrap. You marry a guy, have sex with a guy you're married to, and keep him around. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Simple as that, huh?
Single moms, Tennessee Titans social media, and really all of you trying to keep Father's Day on Sundays. You are the idiot of the week.
I agree. By the way, Adam, when did Miles start getting paid? I didn't know we were paying Miles, so we got to talk about that offline. Right?
Yeah, I'll send you a text.
Because I'm not getting paid, so.
New episodes, remember, as we try to get paid, are every Monday and Thursday. Stay with us for more announcements regarding Season 2. Follow us wherever you get your social media, and we will see you Thursday. Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.